Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 10 of Season 6 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Aaron's 499 here at Talladega Superspeedway, as we're getting set for 29 laps of racing here at one of the biggest beasts of racetracks we go to every season. Now, a couple of notes before we get to the starting lineup and the point standings recap. We've done a lot of testing with a lot of different Talladega tracks for this package we're running for restrictor plate racetracks. However, it seems like most of them weren't cooperating too well, so we ended up getting a brand new Talladega, the 2006 spring version, thanks to Kamikaze Games, and we did some testing on it, and we managed to get some good racing out of this one. But will it translate over to actually getting recorded? That's the big thing. So, with that said, let's take a look at the point standings coming into the race today. So after last week at Texas, Cole Deaver extended his points lead to 19 points over Matt McIntyre. Third, Jake Baskinger. Fourth is Zachary Fitzwater. Fifth is James McLeod. Sixth is Rob Evans. Seventh, Joshua Sekuli. Eighth, Phil Parker. Ninth, Trent Dunham. 10th, Bradley Zorgdrager. So that is the top 10 in the points. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting in the last row is Jonathan Zorline and Tim Fiegel. Top 10 starting grid. Trent Dunham is on the pole for today, and I believe that this is his first pole of the season. Starting next to him is Chris Dollerton. Row 2 will comprise of Joshua Collard and Cody Lamas. Row 3, Melissa Alexander, James Qualls. Row 4, Jake Baskinger, Benjamin Miles. And then Row 5, Retro Racing Enterprise teammates Rafael Leduc and Charles Sanford. Let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Aaron's 499 at good old Talladega.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers now on the racetrack for their one pace lap. So the big difference from what I noticed with this particular version of Talladega in comparison to the typical version we've been running for a while, which was the 2007 revamped version, which was a repave, is that, of course, the track surface here is a lot lighter looking considering it had been repaved. Also, very few areas of safer barrier on this racetrack, plus you got that grass area down there, as you can see as they go through the back straightaway. So I got a feeling if the big one occurs and someone is upside down and they get to that grass, they're going to go for a wild barrel roll. But of course, this is the third race of the season that we're running the restrictor plate package that we're running for all restrictor plate tracks, which is Truck Physics, the No CFTF EXE, and low computer strength, to guarantee that hopefully we can get some good racing in before any cautions were to occur. As we're coming off of turn number 4 for the last time before the green flag waves, pace car should pull in the pit road momentarily. And he goes in now. We're getting ready for 29 laps of racing here at one of the big beasts in motorsports. As ladies and gentlemen, hold your belts tight because it's time to boogity 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 go racing. So we had some great battles going on the first lap. At one point, Trent had the lead, then Melissa Alexander had the lead, and then Jake Baskinger eventually led that lap. But now we got another new leader, and that's Michael Norman, the Daytona 500 winner. So he definitely knows how to get it done as far as winning at big restricted plate racetracks. And if I recall, I think he had a decent finish at Bermuda, the last restricted plate track we went to just a few weeks ago. But look at this, 3 wide, several rows deep. This is the kind of Talladega racing I was hoping we would see finally, and our wish has been granted. Right now, Michael Norman Motorsports teammates running 1-2. Michael Norman and Cole Deaver right now, as Michael Norman's led 2 laps now. Or actually, no, he's led 1 lap, excuse me. But man, look at this racing that we see happening. I see Cody Lamas transition back there from the high line to the middle line. Really interesting move on the part of the 48. But meanwhile, possible fight for the lead about to ensue as here comes Cole Deaver, the points leader, with a run to the inside. Getting that push from the 26 of Joey Parkhill, who nearly won last Wednesday at Texas. Definitely looking for that first win of his career. Meanwhile, right behind Cole Deaver is the winner from Texas, Carson Gum, who's getting pushed by Seth Cole right now. As man, this is some really, really exciting racing already here at the early going. 3 wide, pretty much everywhere possible right now, and each line is able to hold up its own way. Like right now, it looks like it's fairly even on the straightaways between the high line and the low line. It's the middle line you don't seem to really want to be on, because in the middle you're in all that turbulent air, which in result can really upset your car. But Carson Gum was able to keep the move working, but is going to lose the lead somehow because, he slowed down quite a good bit, and I'm not sure why, but Seth Cole led that lap, but here comes rookie Caleb Kilburn in the 99, who's getting pushed by the 9 of Johnny Gardner. Oh my god, it's back. It's $9.99 all over again. Johnny Gardner versus Caleb Kilburn for $9.99. Oh, goodness gracious, the nightmares haunt me forever. But anyways, now that party might get split up because here comes Phil Parker in the 00 with a run on the inside for second place. As actually we got 3 Fords up here in the top 3, but for different teams. Caleb Kilburn for Average Joe Enterprises, Phil Parker for Curtis McIntyre Racing, and Zachary Fitzwater in the 12 for Young Motorsports. But Caleb Kilburn led that lap, but here comes Zachary Fitzwater to the inside and is going to take the lead for himself with the push from the only driver this season to have not yet scored a single top 10 finish, and that's Jordan Forbes in the 77. And now he's going to try and go to the inside to get the lead from the 12 of Fitzwater, as we're seeing lead changes left and right and center here in this race so far. Right now, Forbes maintaining his spot on the bottom and gets the race lead for now, as here comes Tim Fiegel in the 15 with a run out of nowhere. Tim Fiegel comes up through the field and gets the race lead, gets a valuable bonus point. But now Emmanuel Hartnett, as every lap we have had a lead change. So far, so good, so what? But Emmanuel Hartnett, who's leading this race, comes into the race. According to my points, he comes in 21st in points, and he's moved up a few spots over the last couple of races. So little momentum on the side of the 20 of Emmanuel Hartnett, but now we got a new leader, defending series champion Dylan Jacobs in the 78. Dylan Jacobs, like I've said so far, he has not gotten off to a great start. Even though he's had a respectable amount of top 5s and top 10s here in the early going, he's just been marred with some bad luck so far here at the start of the season. Not what you expect for the defending series champion. Jonathan Zorline, on the other hand, led that lap, but now Jessica Shelton takes the spot. And Shelton comes into this race 20th in points, moved back into the top 20 in points after Texas. Looking for her first win of the season, as she actually has a bit of a gap going between herself and second place, as everybody from second on back continues to race each other. But Jake Baskinger now moves up to that spot, followed by Rafael Leduc, Bradley Zorgdrager, among others. Whoa, we got a spinner! Charles Sanford gets turned, and he hit the wall hard. I don't know if that's going to constitute a caution. So far, it's clean and green, I think, because the 03 was spun toward the inside. But man, it looked like he hit hard, rear end first, but he's still going on the racetrack. But as a result, quite a few cars are probably going to end up losing the pack now. Cole Baker, Dylan Poteet, Kyle Matthews, DJ Curtis, Chris Dollerton, and Johnny Gardner, they're going to end up losing the pack now because they are really separated now from everyone in front of them. Tough break for the 03 of Charles Sanford, who came into this race 37th in points, was looking to catch a break here at Talladega, and so far for his season, it's almost a repeat of season 5. Meanwhile, back up at the front, Carson Gum led that lap, but now Matt McIntyre has a run to the inside and actually takes the spot, followed by Michael Norman, Melissa Alexander, Anthony McCrory on the inside line. But McCrory separates, goes up high, but now the 6 of Melissa Alexander gets off of the back bumper of Michael Norman and is now going to try and take second away. Melissa Alexander, who got her first top 5 of her career last week at Texas, while her husband, Joey Parkhill, came damn close to winning at Texas, finished second, so it was a good day for the married couple. But right now, Benjamin Miles is going to take second, as he's going to be going underneath fellow Monster Energy-sponsored car, Matt McIntyre, for the race lead. And Cole Deaver, who led early in the race, is back up here into the picture. As you can tell, yeah, this pack of cars led by DJ Curtis. Last time by, they were under 2 seconds back from the main pack. So yeah, that incident with Charles Sanford has really messed up their chances of potentially winning here at Talladega, unless a quick caution comes out and they can get back up to the pack and still have a shot at it. But Jake Rogers led that lap, and here comes Jordan Forbes to the inside. And like I said earlier, Jordan Forbes is the only driver this season to have not scored a top 10 finish yet. Could today be the day he breaks his bad luck start and get his first top 10 or even top 5 or win of his career? But now, speaking of rookies, Joey Parkhill, who nearly won at Texas, is now up to the race lead, followed by fellow Ford Phil Parker, who also has another Ford. And actually, you got 5 Fords working together up there in the top 5 in sync, at least for now, as now they're going to get separated here. Parkhill will not lead this lap, but it will be Phil Parker, who... Phil Parker comes into this race 8th in points. He's been gradually slipping in the point standings as of late. The winner from California, I want to say. But we still got a good long ways to go. We're not at the halfway point just yet. But meanwhile, Caleb Kilburn in the 99, who I think led a lap earlier, is now coming back up into the picture, and to the race lead he goes. So far, this has been arguably the best Talladega racing I've seen on this channel in quite some time. And I apologize if you hear a fan go off in the background. I had to turn it on because it was getting quite hot in here. But nonetheless, Caleb Kilburn leads that lap, but now Zachary Fitzwater, who led at one point, but I don't think got to lead a lap. Now he's up here into the picture, and momentarily they could catch Charles Sanford, and that could really shake up the field in a big way and cause a lot of separation. Side by side for the lead between Fitzwater and now Joshua Collard. Oh, but the big one has just struck behind them. They're wrecking back there in the very back of the pack. Joey Parkhill was involved. Benjamin Miles, Jonathan Zorline was in it. Jordan Forbes, who we was talking about earlier, was involved. I'm not sure about some of these other cars like the 6, the 56, and the 10. I think they got through it. Jay Jefferson with damage. And yeah, I thought I saw damage on the 00 of Phil Parker. But the big one, or at least a multi-car crash, has just struck. And a good break on the part, and a very good break for the leaders, because they were closing in fast on the 03 of Charles Sanford, and that could have been a major problem. But he somehow gets to stay on the lead lap, I presume, yes. He'll get to stay on the lead lap, but he's going to be still severely off the pace as a result of what happened early on. But Jessica Sheldon managed to get to the race lead in time. So we're going to go ahead and take you to a replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at Talladega. Well, here's a look at what happened. So it looks like almost 5 wide just goes wrong. And it just looks like Jay Jefferson comes up in the Jonathan Zorline right there. Comes up and gets Phil Parker, Joey Parkhill, Jordan Forbes, and Joshua Sekuli for sure, who got damage. And I don't know about the 56 or the 6 back there. We'll actually go ahead and take a look at their vantage points to see if they ended up getting any damage whatsoever. If at all, just barely. I think the 56 just gets a little fender damage. Cody Lamas actually got a piece of it. And Melissa Alexander, just a slight fender bender, but I think easily repairable, and also to keep her in contention. But I see cars like the 26, the 77, 87, 22, and 41 either out of the race or going to be very severely off the pace. And but a good break on the part of these guys. This one pack of cars that went all the way back to Cole Baker, who lost the draft after that incident with Charles Sanford. So they're going to be able to get back up here into the pack to race some more. But yeah, here was a little battle coming to the caution with Sheldon and Collard, but it was Sheldon who got to the point. But let's go ahead and take you to the restart here at Talladega. So as a result of that first caution, 4 cars are completely done for the day and are going to finish in the bottom 5 and not get points. And they were Jay Jefferson, Jordan Forbes, Joey Parkhill, and Benjamin Miles. So tough break for those guys for sure. But let's look at the restart lineup. Jessica Shelton is your race leader. Second is Emmanuel Hartnett. Third is Joshua Collard. Fourth, James Qualls. Fifth, Zachary Fitzwater. Sixth is Bradley Zorgdragger. Seventh, James McLeod. Eighth is Jake Baskinger. Ninth, Caleb Kilburn. 10th, Trent Dunham. 11th is Tim Fiegel. 12th, Tim Fiegel in 11th. 12th, Cole Deaver. 13th, Dylan Jacobs. 14th, James Shelley. 15th, Dylan Young. 16th, Logan Bradley. 17th, Matt McIntyre. 18th, Rob Evans. 19th, Cody Lamas. 20th, Anthony McCurry. 21st, Rafael Leduc. 22nd is Seth Cole. 23rd, Michael Norman. 24th, Carson Gum. 25th, Joshua Sekuli. 26th is Jake Rogers. 27th, Melissa Alexander. 28th, Johnny Gardner. 29th, Chris Dollerton. 30th, Dylan Poteet. 31st, Kyle Matthews. 32nd, DJ Curtis. 33rd, Cole Baker. 34th, Charles Sanford. 35th, Phil Parker. And then 36th is Jonathan Zorline. Pace car pulling in the pit road. as we're getting set to go back to racing with 11 laps to go. Still a long way to go. Anybody, unless they're damaged, still has a shot to win this thing. As the green flag is getting ready to wave, everybody's starting to make their moves to get some positions. But Jessica Sheldon got off to a fantastic jump on that restart, and now has a bit of a gap between herself and second place, but that's not a good thing, because once those drivers behind her get into a draft formation, they're going to swoop up to her back bumper and maybe even go on by. But we'll see how things turn out as everybody starts to bunch back up into a pack again. Battle going on for second as James Qualls takes the spot. And now, he thought about making the move underneath Jessica Sheldon. Now he goes to the bottom underneath of his teammate Shelton. And Qualls, with a push from Bradley Zordrager, gets to the top position on the racetrack. But now, he left that bottom open, but he's still going to get that bonus point. But here comes Zordrager with a run to the inside. Bradley Zordrager in that number 66 for Banger Racing, a single-car team. Though in close affiliation to Evans Gardner Racing. Oh, and we got another spinner! And I think that's a caution. Yes, it is. Michael Norman, Kyle Matthews goes around, but I think we're going to get through with just those two cars. Caution comes out again for a two-car spin, but luckily we managed to avoid a bigger problem than we thought we would get. And a good break for some cars who lost the pack, like Dylan Poteet and Melissa Alexander, for example. But the caution comes out once again, and I'm not sure who led at the line. It looks like it was the 99 of Caleb Kilburn who led at the line right there. Caution comes out for the second time for a two-car incident on the backstretch, as we're going to go ahead and take a look at the replay to see what brought the caution out for the second time today here at Talladega. Well, here's a look at what happened. So it looks like a four-wide attempt going completely wrong, as Michael Norman tries to lay off of the 51 of James McLeod, and still had plenty of room right there, but just comes down into Carson Gum and then down into Kyle Matthews right there. And Matthews goes for a slide, but does he hit the wall is the question. Yeah, he does. So he did get damage from that, but Norman, all he got was cosmetic damage on the driver's side with that tire donut from contact, but I think Norman will still be able to keep up to speed. Matthews, on the other hand, is going to be a bit questionable, considering he did hit the inside wall pretty hard, I must say, but we'll see what happens as we take you back to the restart once again here at Talladega. Well, no cars are tired out of the race after that second caution, so we still got 36 cars on the racetrack. But the field did get shaken up quite a good bit after that restart, and we're going to be restarting with 5 laps to go. So more likely, if we get another caution, the race will end. But Caleb Kilburn, rookie for Average Joe Enterprises, 12th in points, is your race leader. Second is defending series champion Dylan Jacobs. Third is Matt McIntyre. Fourth, Tim Fiegel. Fifth, Rob Evans. Sixth is Seth Cole. Seventh, Cody Lamas. Eighth, Anthony McCrory. Ninth, Rafael Leduc. 10th is Jake Rogers. 11th, Dylan Young. 12th, James Shelley. 13th, Bradley Zordrager. 14th, Cole Deaver. 15th, James Qualls. 16th, James McLeod. 17th, Jessica Sheldon. 18th, Trent Dunham. 19th, Carson Gum. 20th, Jake Baskinger. 21st, Logan Bradley. 22nd, Chris Dollarton. 23rd, Zachary Fitzwater. 24th, Emmanuel Hartnett. 25th, DJ Curtis. 26th is Joshua Collard. 27th, Johnny Gardner. 28th, Dylan Poteet. 29th, Melissa Alexander. 30th, Phil Parker. 31st, Joshua Sekuli. 32nd, Cole Baker. 33rd is Kyle Matthews. 34th is Michael Norman. 35th, Charles Sanford. And 36th still is Jonathan Zorley. But we're getting ready to go back to racing with 5 laps to go. Basically, these drivers are going to have to hope they stay green the whole way through. So that way that everybody that isn't damaged still has a shot to win this thing. But for the drivers from like 20th on back, they're going to have a lot of work to do here in these final 5 laps in order to have a shot at this. But the green flag is waving. Drivers already going outside of lines or down low of lines to make moves. And Caleb Kilburn got off to a fantastic jump on that restart. But again, like I said earlier, whenever you have a big gap like that ahead of the pack, then the drivers behind them, they're going to form up and catch the leader and pretty much go right on by. If they choose to do that, of course. Caleb Kilburn has the spot for now, but here comes Dylan Jacobs, who's still looking for his first win of the season to try and get momentum going for his season 6 in hopes of trying to go 2 in a row for championships. Right now, the 78 has the spot. Fiegel thought about making the move, but left the bottom open for Rob Evans to get there. Rob Evans in the 88, he's had a fantastic start to the season, been maintaining top 10 in points for a good long while. Right now, coming into this race, 6th in the point standings, highest of any rookie. As the majority of the pack is bunched up fairly well, although a couple of cars kind of lingering or losing it. Melissa Alexander kind of just lingering back there, but she's trying to catch up to the pack, but I don't think she's going to be able to make it work. And then Michael Norman and the damaged race cars are back here. And then, Zorline is way off the pace, as Cody Lamas actually took the race lead as we were going through everything. And Lamas, who did get a tad bit of damage during that first caution. Same with Jake Rogers, in fact, and they're up here at the front just fine, although Phil Parker pulls it into pit road and trying to get back out, hope he can continue this race. But I think he is now scored, 36, so he would end up in that bottom 5 and not get any points. But right now, up here at the front, side by side between the 56 and the 71 for the race lead. And it looks like Rogers is going to get the advantage with that bottom run, the bottom line run. As it looks like the race is going to come down to everyone back to 28th on the racetrack. So we got a 28 car pack that's 3 by 3, several rows deep, as Jake Rogers running the bottom, although no line has a clear-cut advantage just yet, as they were all fairly even right through 1 and 2, and somehow, someway, Caleb Kilburn using the middle line to get back up to the front. If he can get down in front of the 56, he'll clear him, and he does. What a move by the 99 of Caleb Kilburn. Went through the middle, blocked up high, then blocked down low. Unbelievable pass right there for the 99, but can he hold them off for one more lap, as the white flag is going to be displayed here and now? Although he's leaving a lot of bottom open, as here comes Rafael Leduc in the 09, trying to look for his first win for a new team. And speaking of his team, right behind him is his teammate Jessica Shelton. Right now 1-2 for Retro Racing Enterprises, although Shelton gonna leave the 09 hanging up high, and she actually got a huge run on the outside line. But Leduc's gonna have a push from the 51 of James McLeod to try and keep himself on the bottom, but Shelton with that outside line run, I don't know, it's going to be close, but I think Sheldon might have it with a pass on the outside line. Checkered flag getting ready to wave through the tri-oval. First win of the season. Jessica Sheldon wins the Aaron's 499 at Talladega. What a move by the 02 of Sheldon, using the outside line and then holding off teammate Rafael Leduc in the 99 of Caleb Kilburn to get her first win of Season 6. Unbelievable move by the 02. That was probably one of the best passes for a win we've seen in quite some time. Great job for the 02 of Shelton. But let's look at the rest of the results. Highest finishing rookie Caleb Kilburn. This is definitely going to help him get back into the top 10 in points. Rafael Leduc, so close at the end to getting his first win of the season and his first win for Retro Racing Enterprises, but still gets a great run in third. That'll definitely help his chances out in the point standings for sure. Jake Rogers, despite getting damaged in that first caution, still comes through with a 4th place run. And then James McLeod, who's been on a roll this season, gets another top 5 run in the 5th position. Seth Cole, much needed good run in the 6th position. Cole Deaver, once again proving his dominance this season, finishes in 7th and is more likely going to maintain the points lead going into our next race, which will be Sonoma. James Shelley with another solid top 10 run in 8th. Carson Gump followed up that win at Texas with a top 10 run in 9th. And then Cody Lamas rounds out the top 10 in 10th. And then there's your top 20, top 30. And then the rest of the field in the bottom 5 was Phil Parker, Jay Jefferson, Jordan Forbes, Joey Parkhill, and Benjamin Miles. So that's a look at the results, and that's the end of Talladega. Pretty successful race despite 2 cautions. Probably the best Talladega race we've had in a long time on this channel. But thank you for watching, as here are your results, rookie points and regular points heading into Sonoma this coming Monday. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.